Hi, this is John Young with the Disc Jockey News and Disc Jockey News TV. Thank you for joining us tonight out on Facebook and out there on YouTube. For tonight's show, we've got a special...
Thanks for joining us. My name is DJ Michael Joseph, and this is Dan Carpenter. And tonight we're talking about 90s. And when John did his show, Dan, he went in the 70s, he went by the year in each one of the years of that decade and went through songs that were popular. And since I'm more of a DJ sort of mind, I'm going to go BPM. So we're going to cover everything in the 90s I'm going to start at 70 BPM to 79 BPM, and then we're going to go 80 BPM to 89 BPM, and so on and so forth. And we're going to talk about some of the songs, and we're also going to talk a little bit about genre, too, because the 90s had everything, didn't it, Dan?
Just a little bit.
We had rock, we had rap, we had hardcore rap, like gangster rap, if you want to call it that way, with Snoop Dogg and at the end of the 90s. We had Hammer Pants, we had grunge, we had the freestyle dance era, we had Depeche Mode and Erasure, and we had it all. 90s was probably one of my favorite decades, I think. I don't know. It was good.
I'm with you on that one, actually. I keep waiting, a lot of areas and stuff. I always see 80s dances, I see disco dances and stuff like that. I'm waiting for somebody to just come along and say, let's do a 90s dance. And I've thought about putting one together, and I'm holding off.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we're in the city, we're doing it. You could do it, because you got to realize that a lot of the people that are in their early 20s now, this is their throwback music. And that's why when I put on the flyer, I said it's oldies music for those who are not so old. Because you have to think about the last 90s song that ever was released over 17 years ago. So think about that.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to jump straight in tonight, and we're going to go in the 70 to 79 BPM range. And I'm going to share a little bit, because we are actually working directly from my DJ computer tonight. We're broadcasting from it, we're playing from it, we're everything. I'm not even using the big studio computer tonight. Everything's coming from the computer I use to DJ with. So we're going to get a little bit of view of everything tonight as we're doing this. So, Dan, the song I started out playing for a sound test is one that I'm finding I play a lot now. I don't know if you play it in any weddings, but it's Pony by Genuine. Do you ever find yourself playing that at any of the weddings or anything like that?
If I have a couple that's really into 90s and stuff like that, I will use it to make the guy work for the garter toss.
I was gonna say.
So in order for him to go get the garter, if this is a couple that's into the 90s music, that's what I'm playing, because he has to earn his right to go in to get the garter.
All right, the next couple we have, they go in what I have listed as 90s rock. Now I have other people who have disagreed with me when I say 90s rock, but I consider the way I measure it all out is if it's a band, I'm gonna call it rock. If they're playing instruments,
so they're playing their own instruments.
If they're playing their own instruments, I kind of throw it in that rock sort of category, because rock was all over the place in the 90s. And I'm gonna start out with, again, we're going by BPM range, so also in that 70 BPM range is Mr. Jones by the Counting Crows. Also in there was the Blues Travelers. Then if you want to get a little sad, we can go Blind Melon. I just want someone to say. But those are all the ones, like, when I honestly, when I do college bars, I can drop any of those in the college bars and the kids will sing along. Because it's
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's their era. So we're going to take a little jump now, and we're going to go out of the 70s. And again, if I don't hit every song you think I should hit, that's fine. Feel free. Dan is trying to monitor the chat the best he can. We are going to talk about as much as we can in this hour that we have, and try to maybe answer some questions and tell a little bit more. So I'm going to jump now to 80 to 89 BPM. Okay. Now, first on the list, because I'm sorting mine right now by play count. So my highest play count, and I'm not sure really why, is Mambo number 5. And that's, I didn't even have, like, here's the video version of it, so. Because I do play a lot of videos, and that's why you'll see me have a lot of videos in here, or I have doubles where I have an audio and a video version. But Mambo number 5, I think it's one that's kind of universal that, people of all ages kind of gravitated towards when it was out. Next one up, No Diggity This is one. I'm finding they're liking a lot because it's a sing along, and it's one that I see a lot in karaoke right now. Is that something?
Yeah, it was one of those that would be kind of easy just to chime along to.
Yeah. Salt and Pepper's What a Man. That's still one that you'll get the girls who, when they're having a girls' night out, they'll want to kind of sing. Genie in a Bottle, which, it's like one of the biggest 90s ever. And that was still in the early, so... One that I actually Saturday night was singing with the guys after they got done DJing at the club. All the bar staff was cleaning up, and I don't know how we got talking about it. In fact, I think you and I even talked about it. No. We were talking about Helicopter. But we were doing Master P. We were singing at the end of the night where everybody's closing up. Big Papa. Grooving that in. That's that whole P. Diddy era, and there's so much of that I can just throw in there. It's not even funny. We go back to the boy bands, which is not a real band, but... Oops. Let me grab the other one here.
I say we already had that one.
Yeah. So we have Jay-Z. That's one of his first ones. This is the clean version. This is from, what was the movie with Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker?
Rush Hour.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is a remix by DJ Easy-E, and I kind of like his stuff. I got 5 on it. I think it's about candy or soda pop or something. I think that's what the song is about.
Of course.
We're going to jump back also into Rock Loser by Beck.
Oh, yeah.
Again, another one that can be... I play at those college bars, and, it just goes off. For places...
Do not recommend playing that at a wedding. Just throwing that one out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to agree with you on that one hard. That's a hard agree. This one here, I'll find that if I play places like there's a couple in the city that are beach bars, I can bring this one out with that, not Cajun, but Caribbean sort of feel.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is another sing-along one that I find a lot. This is the remix version. Gangster's Paradise. That's the remix. I'm just going to skip that. This one came out early 90s, late 80s. It's one of those ones that you and I talked about, like Vanilla Ice. It was right on that border, and it's Just a Friend, and that's one that, again, a college bar goes bananas over this song. Like, literally, you can turn
I've done this in high schools.
Yeah.
And it's over huge, too.
Back again to the rock again, Oasis. I throw that into my pop rock. Whether you want to throw it in there or not, you can. This one is a really smooth, slow, as we used to call it back in the day, baby making music. And it's Jodeci. I don't know if you remember any of that era. It was kind of like the real R&B kind of era. That's one there. Usher, one of his early ones. He had some great dancing in this video. Not that any of those videos he doesn't have great dancing. And that was the style back then. You wore everything big and didn't button anything up. One of my favorite groups from the 90s is Arrested Development, and they have their People Every Day song, which it's the hook, if you remember the hook.
Mm-hmm.
That was Sly and the Family Stone on the original one, I think.
I think so.
So feel free in the chat room. Another slow song, which you've played that at weddings. You had to have.
Actually, I think I've avoided it with all costs.
Oh.
No, I'm sure I played at least once or twice.
And then the last one in this BPM bracket that I'm looking at Was a Good Day. And I know that I have a video in there. I don't know why that didn't come up for that video. So that's our 80 to 89 BPM range. So now we're going to go 90 to 99. And this is where you start getting to a lot of thick stuff. Between the 90 and the 115, that's a sweet spot for a lot of stuff. Not like today's rap, which is at 12 BPM. But this is a video I actually did, because if you go and look, like, I'm going to jump out of this and do... do I have it in there? I do not have that in there. So the original, a lot of the videos from that era, it was tough to get a video from them because the videos were put on, whether it be online or on television, and it was tough to get videos without talking in them. You know what I mean? So they had background. So this Hypnotize, Notorious B.I.G., the song, if you wanted to play the video version, the only video version out there has talking all the way through it, because that's just, the video was this big theatrical thing, and I had to re-edit it to where it was all gone. So this was my re-edit. So it's a clean re-edit, no talking, all the way straight through. But this one gets a lot of play. You can, I can't hardly find a time where you can't play that. The same with Return to the Mac. Now, yeah. These two are on the same play count, because for some reason I always do Return to the Mac and Sexual Healing by Maximilian back to back. I do that a lot. California Love, it's that mix where it started to become the funk and the really kind of like, I don't want to say gangster rap, but it was the leaving of that harder stuff to where it became a little bit funkier. Santana's, this one you guys will recognize from being in Rihanna's song right now, Wild Thoughts, but this was the original. It came through, and the hook, actually the guitar hook, came from a Santana thing before that, so that was in there. We did Return to the Mac, right? Yes, we did.
Yeah.
This is kind of like an underground one that I've always liked, and it's why I have it in my thing. It's Little Troy. It was his only hit, I Want to Be a Baller, and I always liked it because the hook is about the only thing that anybody ever recognizes. Baller. Here it goes. That's pretty much anybody knows that one. Then Regulate, which is another one that I think you can play whenever. It's so slow, it's no energy, but people love it. I don't know why. I still to this day don't know why.
I have such a hard time getting out of that song, though.
It's again in the 90 BPM range, so you just would have to find a song that has a good, intro beat to it, or a remix that has an intro beat.
I guess I mean like a mix out point.
Well,
because it's like, I want to do it like coming out of a chorus, and there's just not really a whole lot of chorus.
Right here's a good spot. You can come out of it quick. The next stop is the East Wait for it to come down. And you have a couple beats here that you can actually mix out of. Aaliyah, Back and Forth, for those who passed away. This is probably one of the most talented artists that I really liked her. I thought she was crazy beautiful, and she passed away right in the height of her stuff. And this was a really big one. Public Enemy, for those of you who really weren't into Public Enemy, this was probably one of my favorite songs of theirs, Shut 'Em Down. I don't know, I just liked it. Dan, who is this?
What's up, man? Hey, yo, what's up?
Informer.
Very good.
So wait, no.
The song's Informer.
Snow.
Yeah.
The song was Informer, artist is Snow.
Yep.
I went for the song radio. I was like,
and the name of the album was 12 Inches of Snow, by the way. That's the name. That was the name of the album. Gin and Juice. As you can see, where I was talking about how the music videos from that era had talking. This whole first part, because I've never edited this one, is the actual video. There's all kinds of talking and stuff going on, so I have to set a cue point and jump into here to get past all that. And there's talking. If you go to my cue point 4, which is like where you have to get out of it, they start talking again.
I didn't want to go over Gertrude's house any damn way.
You ain't got to worry about that, because I ain't taking.
So it's like the videos are really hard to use at that point, so you kind of have to do some editing. Sisters with Voices, SWV, did this song with Michael Jackson's hook in it. So Michael Jackson singing. That's why it kind of became popular. This one, which I love, I've always loved this one.
Romance. Give me a soft, subtle mix. And if it ain't broke, then don't try.
Going back to what I call bands. I want to call them a band, Dan. Do you think I can call them a band?
Do they play their own instruments, or they just sing over somebody else playing?
I don't know, but I have it marked as pop rock, so I apologize to anybody who absolutely disagrees with it being pop rock. It's okay. It's just my way of finding it. It's my way of finding it, okay? The next one is a special video remix that I got from Chris Rock's movie he did, And basically, because it's Rough Riders anthem by DMX, but it's got from the movie with Chris Rock in it. So he'll come in and right here. And if you can see the video in the corner, he's going to start rapping here in a second. That's why, because I like the video that somebody edited this video. It's another one of those ones that the hook is probably one of the best parts there. Another one I like from that era, I Wish. I do know I still have
If you did not go with Skee-Lo at some point in this time, I was going to be mad at you.
And the video's in here somewhere. I don't know why it's not up there. But I do know that I have this upstairs as a single. I bought it as a single, and I know I still have it as a single upstairs. Early 90s, OPP.
How can I explain it? I'll take it frame by frame it.
When I did the 90s day, a guy came in, for the 90s event, and he had an OPP shirt on. And as soon as I saw him walk in the door, I cracked that on, and he just is in the middle of the dance floor, and everybody's jumping around singing the song. Do you remember 90s? What was the biggest animated movie of the 90s? Space Jam.
Lion King.
Oh, okay. I'll give that one a little higher, but Space Jam for music. So, and I am not going to play the Elton John song tonight. That will not be one of my picks tonight. I'm sorry. No. But we've got... Played this one the other night. And, of course, we have Miss Britney Spears. This is another one. Again, the music of that time had all kinds of words and stuff in it, and you kind of have to jump into it, Then we can start. And the same thing with getting out of it. I got to get out of it by Q.8. It's like either that or get extended. This was really early 90s. It was one of my favorite songs. I think I have this on CD single somewhere. It was Hippie Chick by Soho. Really late 80s, early 90s. So that's a stretch. I'm going to be honest with you. Tupac, which I actually have, I believe, a Tropical House remix of this. Again, smoothing. Dr. Dre, Nothing But a G Thing.
1, 2, 3, and
back to the rock bands. Can we say that? They're a band. They play their instruments.
I would have put them in the band category.
Yeah. Semisonic. And also in with that, again, with these college bars that I play, this drops into them. Kryptonite, Three Doors Down. Again, I picked them because they're sing-along songs. And like some of the college bars, it's not always about a dance floor. It's just keeping them engaged. And that's some of the ones. And with some of the people who just passed away, it was, what's his name from Tribe Called Quest? I can't think of it. Fife? Yeah, this one came back for a while, so I had to pull all of those out again. Juicy, which I actually did this one. Somebody asked me to do a remix of this for a wedding. I guess the husband and wife liked the song, so I had to do a little bit of intro remix of this. They wanted the first part, so I had to do that for them. So you never know. Sublime, another 90s rock band. This is one, I'm going to skip a couple here. This is one, when you want to talk about like hip-hop, like true hip-hop, like before hip-hop died, before Lil Wayne killed hip-hop. Craig Mack, Flavor in Your Ear. This, when you say hip-hop, you got to bring this out or nobody does it. Can we say Limp Bizkit for band?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll throw them in there too.
We can definitely call them band. Whether you want to call them rock, that might be the question.
Or quality or talent. I like their stuff. I'm sorry, it was simple and fun. Mary J. Blige and Puff Daddy were two real big ones in that era. So I'm not going to play all of them. I'm just kind of skip some stuff. So we as I go further down in this list, it goes less and less plays that I do. This was one Run DMC actually Jam Master Run from Run DMC put this out in the early 90s, and it had I couldn't tell you how many famous people in the video. Like if you watch this video, that's Run from Run DMC, and it came out in the 90s. And there are so many other famous people in this video that are just jumping around with him in the video. Had an early 90s kind of feel. That was OPP people. I just blanked on the name of the band who did OPP.
Naughty by Nature.
Naughty by Nature. That was them right there in the video. Fat Joe. That was a big one. It was crazy huge. 702. You can't do the 90s without 702.
Oh no!
It's that whole smooth R&B sort of thing. We got to do some Wu-Tang and well, it's not true, you know.
On fire skate, no question I was speed.
In Vogue's in there, Janet Jackson, Biggie. It started the 90s was the whole Ja Rule era, which I still have people ask for Ja Rule all the time.
Really?
Yeah, all the time. Like I always play several by him. All right, so we're skipping out of the 90s and we're jumping up to the 100s. So we're going 100 to...
No, wait.
Yo.
You went the whole 90s and you totally skipped over back that thing up.
Was it in there? Let's jump in and see.
Oh, I could have sworn it was 90s. Now I'm going to feel bad if I just totally blanked on that one.
2000.
Was it really?
But we'll throw it in there. I'll play it right now for you. I have
98.
I have the clean version. All right, so we got that. Dan's happy now.
There we go.
What were we on?
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't totally skipping over in my head. And
feel free if anybody in the chat room.
Almighty Google says 1998. So.
Okay, I would have actually probably went with that over what I have marked in there. I'm not sure why I have 2000 marked in there, but we'll say it's in there. So we're going to actually count it for sure. In the 100 range, we really start getting some stuff in there. Montel Jordan.
This is how we do it.
That's you can probably play that anywhere. Rump Shaker. That hook. I scratch that hook all the time. That little. I always use that for scratching into it. Will Smith.
Bring it.
Played this Saturday night, actually. I was being silly and went into it, and people liked it. We have to go back into the boy bands. Which we can call them boy bands.
Probably one of my biggest ones right now is when I drop Everybody.
That's in there. I'll be getting that too for sure because I have the video for that one for sure. This one is in the 90s. I think it came out in the 90s. Check on this for me, somebody. All Summer Long by Kid Rock. It's in my 90s folder.
No.
I don't know if it's 90s. It can't be.
No, not even close.
I'm not even sure why it's in there. So that one's marked wrong. Black Sheep. I'm going to skip to the part everybody knows.
Engine number 9 on the New York Trans.
That one's in there. Black Sheep. Again, back to what I call pop rock.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down.
This is one I find hard to mix out of because that energy of that hook runs at the end of the song forever with no break. So you have to break out of it. It just goes on and on and on and on. And you kind of really have to be creative to get out of it hard. Again, 90s rock right here. I think this is one of my... This is another ginormous sing-along is My Own Worst Enemy by Lit. This one just... I see places explode when I play this singing it.
There's times I feel like I just want to go and play in a college bar just so I can play all this stuff.
I know. That's the funny thing is that I am blessed getting to do a lot of different styles of gigs, so I do get a long range of all different stuff. 2 Saturdays ago, I'm doing deep progressive house, and then, Friday I'm doing college bar, and then, however that jumps in there. Again, right along with that rock.
Somebody once told me the world
Smash Mouth,
is gonna
All Stars. I get a lot of requests for that. This one is one I added. It's early 1990, like right at the beginning. You probably won't even remember it, Dan, but I liked it because I always thought it had the good hook. It's got I kind of describe it.
This time is
early 90s hip hop. This was early 90s hip hop.
Like a heavyweight champion.
Yeah, no clue.
Like
I love you so. Never, ever, ever gonna let you go.
That's why it was popular. That hook.
Get my hands on you.
That's why it was popular.
Who sampled that then? After that,
The original one? Well, most of the songs in the 90s, early 90s, there was a lot of sampling going on. So that had a couple.
No,
in there.
the hook there.
I don't remember what that's from. That's where you got me caught on that.
Yeah, I know it from someplace, and I'm just totally... I don't know.
It's chat room. Feel free to help us out. Pop rock again. Third Eye Blind.
I actually had somebody request Third Eye Blind for a wedding coming up, and I just...
Really?
I want to go, why? Like, it's they don't want it for, like, during dance... Well, I don't think they want it for during dancing, but why? That would... You know how Shani has her crate?
Right.
Of
right.
the yeah. So I actually I think back to when I was burning CDs, so I'd get my singles and would make them smaller so I didn't have to take, all the albums and stuff like that. And I made one stuff I need to have but don't really want, I think is what I actually called, like, the CD, and it was like disc 1, disc 2. Sarah McLachlan was on there and Third Eye Blind was on there.
Cool. Somewhere in the chat said we're having sound problems or not?
It's they're saying I'm hot. I think it's just the way I look, but they're saying it might be the audio too. I keep pulling myself back, but
yeah, because whatever Dan feeds me is the only thing I can work with, because we're all coming in on the same thing, so we'll try to see what we can do there. Again, apologize. This is why we're doing all this. We're testing the different things so that we know when we come to do some of the mix shows and stuff like that we're going to be a little bit more on there. So I hope you guys are enjoying yourself. This one here, when it came out, I went bananas over it. Just bananas. Intergalactic. I don't know why. It just was one of those ones I went crazy to. TLC also was ginormous in the 90s. And I always like this one because it carries so much energy. Everybody wants waterfalls. They always ask for waterfalls. But this one, like I said, to me, it carries a lot of energy. Sampling, again. From the 70s to the 90s, P. Diddy sampled everything, like Pitbull was sampling everything. Early 90s, I don't know if I'd recommend you ever playing this anywhere, but I got to turn the gain up on that one. Yeah, gain's way down on that. It was a hook, and it was, what was the song from the 80s that's hooked, that's saved from? Spandau Ballet. Yeah. Okay. That was Spandau Ballet did that hook. That background is from the group Spandau Ballet. Anyways, this was one, and I hope I have the other one in here that I play back to back. This was another early 90s hip hop that I love. Back to the Hotel. I just love that hook back then. Dan?
Sorry, I'm typing in the chat room.
That's okay. Is this the one you asked for?
Yeah.
This one, since it's October and Halloween's coming, this can be a Halloween song because of the video if you play videos. Because the whole video,
but okay.
Yeah, the whole video is them dressed up as different people from, Jekyll and Hyde and Mummy, and so that one's kind of neat. One that I play every once in a while that probably nobody else on the planet plays, because I was into the dance scene in the 90s. Well, I'm in the dance scene all the time. Do you remember? It's Bee Gees, Staying Alive, but N-Trance did their own little hook to it. And there was another one by Jungle Brothers did one that they rap over it. They still do the hook. I've always thought it had a great groove. I play it a lot, Back to the bands, Dan. Jane's Addiction. Been Caught Stealing. Let me look at some other ones here we can jump across. Snap, The Power. So I'd just like to say that two of the people in this band are from Pittsburgh. Just want to say that. But you also have in that same time, which I'll probably grab here in a bit, was, for those of you who don't know, them and Chill Rob G came out with that music They both grabbed that hook, came out with the song at the same time with different lyrics, and they actually had to go over to court over which one had the right to use it. And Snap won. But I like Chill Rob G's version better. Another real famous one.
Can I get a hit?
And for those of you who don't know, Tribe Called Quest, you will see this guy right here. Busta Rhymes was originally part of their thing. So this is early Busta Rhymes.
I wondered, because I had no clue on that one. When I saw him in some of the tribute stuff just recently, and all of a sudden he's coming out, and I'm like, okay, was he really a friend? And then like when it kept happening, I'm like, oh, that's where he started.
Yeah. Crisscross Jump. I don't play this one very often. I probably should.
You know what? I just recently started playing it coming out of Jump Around.
Okay.
Because there's a nice little spot where they're like jump, and you can and back
do wordplay.
Back and forth.
Yeah.
And then go right into it. Yeah.
A little bit of wordplay there. Hey, Mr. DJ is one that I've always liked. It is more on the house tip. If you had a house night, you could definitely get away with this. I always like the groove. Mariah Carey. This is probably some of my more favorite Mariah Carey stuff. Yeah, not a lot of terrible energy in it, but you can do it. This is one that was just bananas crazy back then. It's Come Baby Come by K7.
If it made the Jock Jams album, it was a big song.
Yeah. Again, another one where you can do great scratching coming in. So I like that one for that. Mama Said Knock You Out came out at that time too. Kind of revolutionary in the way it was all put together, the story behind it. I have a couple different versions of this that I like. I'm going to play this band probably twice. And if you don't know who they are, just go watch the videos because they were, I think, probably one of the most hodgepodge put-together singing groups ever. This was probably their biggest song, I Want to Sex You Up by Color Me Bad. But they all have such a unique look. One with dreadlocks, one that looks like Kenny G, one that looks like Snow from Informer. And they had a couple songs out. What can you say? Dan, I know you play this one.
Somebody make some noise in this joint, man.
No, what song's this?
This is actually a little remix of it.
Ooh, I like this.
This is a remix of it.
Doesn't mean I can't like it.
Yeah, I have 12,000 different remixes of that. This is one that it's tough to play. You can play it in the college bars. But because the beginning starts so crazy slow, it's kind of tough to mix anywhere. Because this is how the beginning begins. But once you get past that, it's... so... The Cure. This was early 90s. I think that might even been 89, honestly. That may be in the wrong folder, actually. Tevin Campbell, early 90s. He was in the movie. This is actually from, not Purple Rain, but what's the second movie Prince put out? Yellow Bridge, or I can't remember, because I'm not the biggest Prince fan, so don't hate on me for this. But Tevin Campbell was in that one. This was like his only hit, and that was kind of big back then. This one, I wish we could play this one more, because I loved it. It was just so funny. Rico Suave.
Rico.
Because you could play that one back to back with this one.
Yeah.
And they went bananas. Oh my gosh, he knows it. We used to call it the car keys song, because like, where did I put my car keys at? Where are my car keys? Hot Stepper is one. I always love the hook on this, and again, back to the scratching. You could play with that, and it's a great scratch in. This one I brought back because of the French Montana song that's out right now. He takes Busta Rhymes' hook. This is not the right version. This is the This is the remix, so we'll come back to that. It's got to be in here somewhere. We'll jump back. Is it in there? Because I know I have it. I just played it the other night. Anyways, One Headlight, Wallflowers. Low Energy. There we go. This is my remix.
That was the one that killed me when I would be on the radio at 3 o'clock in the morning. I had to play it, and it's like 4 minutes long. I'm falling asleep.
This is the version of Skilo that I play because it's got a little bit of bump to it with an edited video.
I'm gonna compete with that. 'Cause when it comes to playing basketball, I'm always last to be picked, and in some cases never picked at all. So
I just like the hook on it. That's why I kind of go with it. This one people ask for a lot, but I don't really like it. The Call by Backstreet Boys. I never thought it was that great of a song. Now, this one I'm not going to play because I'm boycotting him because he's now playing country. But Hootie and the Blowfish, he now does country, so I absolutely refuse to play him. See, I'll play Taylor Swift. We talked about this before. I'll play Taylor Swift because she left country. But I will not play Hootie because he went to country. Flava Flav had a song out in the 90s, too. I don't know if you remember that.
Hit me.
Called 911 is a Joke.
They only come and they come when they wanna. So get the motor truck and then bounce the corner.
I remember playing this on college radio like crazy. And Ricky Martin.
Shake your bum if you end up. You're only like a lover.
All right, what was the one we had there before that was the wrong one? Put Your Hands. Yeah.
Busta Rhymes.
Yeah. This is because you recognize this beat from the French Montana song, and this is where it comes from. And this is another one where I wanted the video, so I had to edit the video because there's talking all through it.
Hit you with no delay into what you say. Shorty, she a little cutie toes. Hot with all your hands with my eyes to see. Straight buck wildin' in the place to be.
So that's where that came from. So we're on to what, 110 now? 110 to 1.
Sounds about right, yeah.
And probably one of my biggest played songs. And again, another one's great for scratching. Great for scratching. I pulled this one out. Certain audiences like it.
Yeah, Spider-Man and Freezing, full effect.
Poison by Bell Biv DeVoe, because it has a good breakdown that you can do if you have a cold edit and you want to cold edit quick.
Girl, I must
do that cold edit.
Girl,
That's why I kind of like using that sometimes. This one, I'm going to be honest with you. This one slipped my radar when it came out. And I don't know how it slipped my radar, but I didn't even know the song existed for the longest time. It's the Sir Mix-a-Lot version, which I didn't even know, because I always play the original one from Sugar Hill Gang and whatnot.
I didn't know it came out. I probably didn't play it until 2006. I mean, it was like...
Yeah, same here. It came out in 96. It was into the 2000s before it hit my radar. Coolio, one of my favorites by Coolio, 1, 2, 3, 4. But, again, not everybody likes it. Now, this next song, I got it on a compilation jazz album and liked it so much I went and got it. And I still can play it every once in a while, and it pulls people. It's called Cantaloupe by US3 or US3, depending on how you want to say it. But
Fantasia.
Dance as feel the beat drop, jazz and hip hop.
Love the hook, love the feel. That's why I always played it. Back again to the bands.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
We can call that a band, right? And
yeah.
Very young Justin here. I mean, these guys were super young here in this. There's what's his name? I mean,
I don't have the video in front of me. You do realize that, right?
Oh, I thought you were seeing what everybody's seeing.
Oh, I do if I go to the chat room, but remember, that's behind.
Oh, okay. Thought you were watching both. Okay, anyways.
I am, but I'm behind.
Black Box was the era, and I know James is all over the chat room. We love the freestyle era and the whole kind of stuff that came around this kind of dancey stuff that was in the 90s, and I love this era. All of the songs that came in this era, I can't get enough of. De La Soul, this album, Me, Myself, and I, actually got pulled because they sampled so many things off of it that everybody who they sampled got mad and actually had to pull the album.
Just me, myself, and I.
90s? You have to play Whitney, right? See, I wish you could see the videos because there's some decent stuff here. Vogue.
Well, I can. I'm just behind.
Okay.
That's the only issue.
This was real big. In fact, I have a friend who is a dancer in Europe, in around Ukraine and stuff, and they still do Vogue battles. Like they have like big, like I don't know what you would call it, like a expo about stuff, and they'll do different types of dancing, and they do a whole Vogue night, and it's crazy. I mean, it's more than just what you saw in the video. They're down on the ground doing poses like break dancers and stuff. It's kind of neat. Motown Philly.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you didn't play that, we were gonna have some issues.
One of their only fast songs, because the rest of their stuff is all slow, love, baby making music. Going back to that freestyle era. No, this one probably from Jock Jams. Cover Girls, Funk Boutique.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, this is Cantaloupe. It's another Cantaloupe version, sorry. And Funk Boutique. Love this sound. Cover Girls. Back to the bands. Breakfast at Tiffany's. What's the name of the band, Dan?
Deep Blue something.
Oh my gosh, you got that, because I would never have gotten that. I just don't.
Really?
Yeah. It's one of those bands. It's like, what? I know the song. What is it?
See, I get the names of the bands a little bit easier when it was stuff that I was playing, like on the stage.
Okay. Nirvana. So we got to play Nirvana. All right, so you remember me talking about Chill Rob G before, the guy that had the song that was the same as Snap's I Got the Power? This is his version. Sounds the same, right?
Don't say this, don't
Till
say
he
that,
starts.
change your lyric. Everybody's a critic. It's getting kind of hectic. My rhyme is authentic, so it shall remain. My writing exciting.
Sounds the same.
Close enough.
But he had to pull it. Dan and I just had this discussion about this song because I said it came out in 89, but then hit the charts in 90, and we went and looked it up, and what it was Vanilla Ice's debut album. His release was released in 89. That's where my friends heard it in Florida and brought it up to us, and then they did the national release in 1990. Is that right, Dan?
Yeah.
Okay.
According to the almighty Google, that's what we found.
Google, I love that. Back again, we all know this one. Clavillis and Cole. I'm probably going to say that wrong. Clavillis and Cole.
No, so that's what the CNC stand for.
Yeah. They did some 70s stuff. So if you go back and look in the 70s, they did some great songs in the 70s. Rock. Fool's Gold. Soup Dragons. Another one of my favorites. Corona. That freestyle hook. Love that stuff. Kathy Dennison. I think this is a remix. Yeah, it is a remix version of it. Back to the rock bands. Sugar Ray. He did a lot in there. People sometimes forget about how many songs they had that were hits. And this one,
you know, it was big if he has his own like segment on Sirius XM.
Yeah, true.
On the 90s channel. True.
That's scary in its own way. This one here, I'm going to play. See, you have to tell me, see if you know who it is, and what group he came from. I'm gonna jump ahead.
Oh my gosh, I'm placing it and I can't.
Johnny Gill. He was in with Bobby Brown. When Bobby left, I think he took over, and Ralph Tresvant and Belle Biv DeVoe all came from the same group. Huh. All right, so we're getting close to the end because I'm not going to go too far in here. We're doing in the 120s to 129, so we're going to get some really fast stuff. I can't talk about the 90s without talking about Love Me Some Daft Punk. And we're getting some house stuff from that era.
No, wait a minute. Around the World? I thought that was 113.
121. And I got the video, so if you've never watched the video, watch the video, because I love playing it. It is the most pointless video in the world. This is a remix, but it time-wise falls in there.
move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it,
Too
move it.
real.
You like to
It's a little bit. It's this is a remix of it, but it's real through again that whole era. This is a white label remix, and Dan, you're gonna have to help me if the original came out in the 80s or 90s.
In the morning at the diner on the corner, I am waiting at the
This is a remix.
for the man to pour the
We'll slow it down.
and he fills it only halfway, and before I eat,
Yeah, it's Susan Vega, Tom's Diner.
I can't remember. I think it was early 90s it came out. I have it in there.
All right.
Also 90s.
Oh,
The Thong Song, which they did remake recently, and it was terrible. It did have him in it, actually, and it was terrible. And then this is the house.
Tom's Diner, 87.
Okay, so the remix I have is from the 90s then.
Yeah.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt.
Hideaway.
For those of you who are watching the video right now, I took this clip from when they did it on Saturday Night Live and did the head thing that Dan's doing, and I put it in loop on this video. So when I play this video, it shows the three guys from Saturday Night Live with not Dana Carvey. I can't remember the guys' names.
Jim
now.
Carrey.
Jim Carrey and the two other guys that did the original where they were in the movie, Night of the Rockberry. So early 90s.
Yeah.
Marky Mark, you might know him as Mark
Feel it,
Wahlberg,
baby.
the actor. One of my favorites from the night. This is the remix, so it's not going to be the right one. Rosala, Everybody's Free. Missed her in concert. Another rock band, Dan. I put them in the rock bands.
I would put him in band category.
90s rock in there. Everything But the Girl. It was 90s. This one, I actually... Go ahead.
It just there was one of those songs that it irritated me.
Oh, see, I love this song so much. In the early 2000s, I did the trance remix of it that got a lot of play, actually. This one is one that people hate. Mm-hmm. Lots of people hate that one. This is a remix. But they were early 90s. Soul to Soul, which one of the singers from Soul to Soul just passed away. This is right on. It's another remix of the 90s. NXS. That was 89, wasn't it? Yeah, that was 89. Okay.
Yeah.
This one I just played the other night.
I'm too sexy for my shirt.
Right Said Fred.
That's another fun one to throw in every once in a while.
Yeah, I played that the other night. This is again another one of those remix guys I like. Easy Easy-E if you find his stuff. He does video remixes.
I like big butts and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny.
This comes from his remix. This is another remix, but it's still 90s. Come As You Are, Nirvana. I still try to play this every once in a while. It doesn't go off well.
As it grooves, your body move a little bit. I wanna see you wiggle it.
It doesn't go off very well. Wiggle It by Two in a Room. This is the Jason Nevins remix. It's got a little bit more push to it, so I kind of go with it. When you get older women that come to a bar, they ask for this. I say older when they're closer to my age.
No, that'd be like
They're my age.
mid to late 30s maybe.
Well, they ask for it, and I have it for them. From the Jock Jams, Two Unlimited by the Twilight Zone by Two Unlimited. Another rock one. Oh, that's a remix. We already did that one. Closing Time. Eagle Eye Cherry.
Save Tonight.
Yeah. Again, this is all stuff that you could be playing in if you do a college bar. They like it. Another night.
Teardrop Groove is in the heart.
Not yet.
Delight.
It's gonna be in the next BPM range because it's in the lower 130s. It's
124.
Fast. No, you might have a different.
Yeah.
version, I have, probably.
Well,
Closing
maybe
Time.
a different version.
Remix of Closing Time. Real McCoy's was another one of that era, of that freestyle era that I loved.
LaBouche. Sorry.
LaBouche? No, Real McCoy.
And I know, but it made me think of LaBouche.
Which they're in here too somewhere. I got to find them. This was one that early 90s that I loved, and it took me forever to find it again because I thought I had it, but I didn't have it. But 49ers, Touch Me, because it has the hook. It's Aretha Franklin. Sampled right there. I always like that one. Little Hammer. More rock. Weezer. Again, always rock band that you can play if you want to. Dan, you called it before. There's your LaBouche. Be My Lover. This is another remix I have. Did we do Twilight Zone? Yeah, we did Twilight Zone, right?
He did too, Unlimited. Get ready for this, but
all right, so we'll throw that on. Another one by that same group. I loved when house music let you dance, let you rap. Michael and Janet had a song together in the 90s. This is the remix of it. It's called Stop Pressuring Me. They sang and danced together, and it was like a big deal because it was the first thing they ever did together. More Ricky Martin. When I played this at the 90s bar crawl, they went bananas on it. And this lady here, Crystal Waters, just actually liked one of my Instagrams. Very proud about that, so shout out to her. Thank you. Crystal Waters, 100% Pure Love. And we're almost out of time, and we're going to hit the 130 to 139, which is going to be the last few in there that we're going to find some stuff. We're going to find stuff like this, which I still think this one's going to make a comeback, Dan.
The butterfly, that's old. Let me see the tubes roll.
not comeback. It's you can still drop it.
I played it at a Sweet
Anytime.
16 recently. Actually, they requested as one of the ones at Sweet 16. I did that. This is the remix version. Freak Nasty, The Dip. Venga Boys, this is again. You'll know this from the Jock
Six Flags
stuff.
commercials.
Yeah. This one I play all the time because you can drop it certain places and get a conga line going on. It's a cheesy go-to. We can't go out of the 90s without...
You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
This one came back for a dance. It was the 90s. Ghost Town DJs, because when somebody kept asking me for My Boo, these kids are asking for My Boo, and I'm like, am I missing a song? Am I missing a song? And they're like, no, My Boo, it's famous. It's a new song. And I'm like, what? No. So, no.
From before you were born.
Yeah. So, Cure? Probably played this one, I bet. Friday, I'm in Love with You. This was another one of those ones that came from that whole cheesy era of the dip and Tootsie Roll. I played this one, Daisy Dukes by DeJuice, or however you pronounce it, Juice. I'm trying to think what we can do here with the last few.
I'm surprised you didn't do Cher.
I will never. I can't stand her voice.
Oh, I agree with you on that, but it was significant because when Believe came out,
I do have it in here.
It was like the first time somebody had spanned like 4 decades or something.
Yeah, 99. So we'll play her just out of play. All
right, that's plenty.
That's plenty. And the other one you said, Dan, was Delight.
Mm-hmm.
And I have that marked as 90. So that was one of those ones that I think was borderline. So I'm not sure why that didn't come up. Oh, this is the 80s mix, because that's why. Yeah, it's dropped into the 80s part. And we'll play the video version for those who are watching. And I also would like to say that Delight is from Pittsburgh. So that takes us up to the top of the hour. We got about 3 minutes left here. I don't know who all is stuck in with us on this. I just tried to give you a quick, look through of stuff that you can play when you're out for 90s. The video will be put back up on YouTube. I think we're going to put up there as a non-monetized video so that you can go back and look at the songs if you want to take notes or whatever. But it's just basically showing you some 90s songs that you can play, and that's kind of what this show was about. I mean, Dan, did you think we made a successful dent in all of this?
Oh, we did, but there were so many along the way. I kept going,
Shout them out. I'll drop them in if you can think of any.
Mars, Pump Up the Jam.
Oh, I love that one, but I can never play it because nobody even knows it.
Oh, yes, they do. If you drop it in the right set in the 126, am I right?
Do I have
125?
I have actually.
But if you drop it in the right set, you'd be good.
I have lots of versions of that, actually. I have the video version. Holy freaking crap, Batman. I didn't even know I had this.
I know what MG's bringing out this weekend.
I always felt that, I just never felt it had energy. It just didn't get a lot of plays. This video version, since I put it on this computer, has only had 7 plays. So this DJ computer is about a year old. So I guess I played it 7 times in this year. So I don't even remember playing it ever once. So what else?
Oh, geez. What else did he hit that you hit? Skipped over, rather.
I had that one as 80s. That was an 80s song. I know that for
Pump Up the Jam?
Yeah, that was 80s for sure. I know that.
No,
yeah.
I looked it up.
Look it up. Look it up again. Look it up again. Show you that I'm right.
Oh, I was looking at something wrong.
You were thinking.
It didn't load it. I'm sorry. We let an 80s song slip through.
You were thinking of.
A place to stay, get your booty on the
That was one of those 89, 90 songs. Pump Up the Jam, like Technotronic. Borderline.
We didn't do any Shaggy. Well, most of Shaggy was early 2000s.
Yeah. 2000. Well, he had one in the 80s. Very few people know. It was like late 80s, early 90s that I remember watching him perform it on the Arsenio Hall show called Carolina. I'm jumping through it.
I was thinking like Mr. Boombastic, though.
What year was that? I don't know what year that is. That's the
95.
That's a remix. This is the remix that I always play. Angel was out in the 90s too. That was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
I had a guy I used to work with that was like 10 years older than me that liked that song when it came out. Him and his wife liked it. Like, really, Chuck? Really? And the one I probably play a lot is It Wasn't Me. I play that, and I actually have a Tropical House remix of it.
Wasn't me.
And that was 2000, so that's right at that cutoff. Mm-hmm. I think that's a good one to end on, maybe, the 2000 cutoff right there. Next week, I think I'm going to do a show where we're going to talk about mashups. And I see in the chat room, Jimmy said, boo, share. Thank you, Jimmy. You get a high five next time I see you.
I wouldn't say I was for it. I said we can't really, leave it out.
I felt, because, I went through this Dirty Cash. Oh, my gosh, that was a great one, Jimmy. I went around it because I kind of went with what I played a lot.
Makes sense.
So it was, this was the Dirty Cash that Jimmy was talking about. That freestyle era. That's for those of you watching it. We do our sharing the video version. And when I was a young man, I used to teach dance and take dance and do all kinds of TV commercials and stuff. And this is one of the first choreographed routines I learned with the one company that I was with. I remember. Don't ask me what it was. I couldn't do it today if I had to. But it was one of the first ones I learned. So there you go. There's our 90s show.